Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be developing a Twitter bot which is capable of uploading a tweet periodically or uploading a code, and you can do multiple operations or actions with this Twitter bot, not only just uploading a tweet, or you can just follow back and much more such operations you can perform. So let me first demonstrate the project to you. So after running the Python script, it takes a 2 seconds sleep timer, and once I go on the Twitter handle, so it has uploaded a code successfully 18 seconds ago, and this has been uploaded by my bot, that is PyBot Mac. So let me first go on. So just go on to Google and type Twitter developers, and you'll go on the very first link, and you can click on developer portal. If you have already registered for a Twitter developer account, you will be having a dashboard. Otherwise, you'll have to sign up for that. And I'll be telling you step by step how you can develop a new developer account using your Twitter account. So this is my Twitter bot, and these are the keys and tokens which I have used in my script to access the bot. So access the API, not the bot. So these are some random codes, that is keys and tokens, which help me access the API. And you can only do this once you have registered as a Twitter developer. You will be able to access these keys and tokens to connect with your Twitter account and develop an application. So this is the overview of the project, and let's continue with the further part of this video. So I'll have to show it from the scratch. So I'll use another account to demonstrate how exactly you can develop the bot. So I hope you have understood what the task of this bot is. It is hardly 10 line of code. So the logic is just this part, that is this scheduler. You can say scheduler or scheduler, whatever you feel like. And this is the API that is uploading random codes, that is based on tags, and the author, which is QOD, that is quote of the day, which is in the format JSON format. So if I copy this link and just paste it in the browser, so it shows a random quote which is having a particular tag, famous quotes, and it has its author. So if I refresh, the code changes with the tags. Tag might also change, but it is not anytime like a mandatory thing that it shows the famous quotes tag only. And suppose I refresh it again. So the tag has changed finally, and this is the quote. These are all random codes. So you can say that QOD, what do I mean by QOD, is nothing but quote of the day, and this is an open API, but this is in JSON format. So I do not need to upload a quote in JSON format on Twitter. So what exactly do I have to do with this JSON format? So I pass it into a text format with the help of JSON.loads, which is a method from the JSON library, and it uploads the content part only. Suppose if at all I change this to res author, so now what it would do is simply post the quote as well as the author of the quote. So let's run the script. So as you can see, after the quote, Arthur Conan Doyle, this is the name of the author who has written this code. So it's very much simple in terms of developing this bot. Other than that, you can do multiple things with this bot. It's not always like you'll have to upload a quote or something. You can completely automate your Twitter, and there's no limit to all of such things. It's just a kickstart to get into the developer and developing in this bot thing. It's not like a mandatory thing that you have to do this or anything else. You can take any random API and you can just use the content of that API to automate your Twitter. It's nothing like a rule book to follow some certain rules. So the only rule you have to follow is that you need to have a Twitter developer account, and you'll have to use these keys and tokens to access the Twitter application or the bot, as it is termed as projects and apps. So let's move on to the very first step in developing a Twitter bot, and the very first step is that you should have a Twitter account. And if at all you have a Twitter account, just go for sign in and make sure that you log in with the correct details. So this is a new account that I've created for testing and developing the bot. And the next thing you have to do is go on to your browser and just type Twitter developers, and once you have the link, that is the very first link is the Twitter developers account link. So next thing you have to do is click on apply. So it's signed in already with this account. So next thing you have to do is click on apply for a developer account. So the next thing you choose is academic, student, get started, and make sure that you have your phone number added in this section. That is, in the settings you can go and verify your phone number and Gmail if it's not verified already. And the next thing is anything that you would like to add on as your name and your country from experience. So you basically have to describe the intended use in some words, and according to your preferences you can just toggle yes or no, and after you are done we'll connect back and I'll just fill this up and get back to you. So once you are done with this, and we'll go on to the next third part of this, that is review. So once you are done with this, you're good to go. Just I'll be back. So now just simply proceed with the terms and conditions and accept the terms and conditions. So if you want, you can read all of this and then go with the implementation of the project. So submit application if it gets accepted. So yeah, the success, application submitted. So if it gets accepted, then we are good to go with the development of our Twitter bot. So let me just check my email ID and we'll get back again with the development part. So I've verified my developer's account mail, and now we are good to go with creating our project. So what you have to do next is create a project, and you can, what do I name the project as? So just name your project, and I would name this project as So after naming the project, just click on next and describe the use case, and exploring the API could be the right reason. And next, project description. So this is the description of the project. So this could be the right name for our app name. So just click on next, and we'll get all these API key, and you just have to save these and I would definitely change these once I have copied this later on, so that you cannot basically use this one because it's for my account, and if at all by chance you use, you might not be able to access because it gets changed randomly. And just copy this and save it in your notepad or anywhere. So just to save the API, I'll write down the name of the API key to API key, API secret key. There are two separate keys, so I'll write down API key, and the next is API secret key. So the next one we'll copy paste it here, and after that we have a bearer token. We don't really need this token, I guess. And the next yeah, authentication settings, that's what we need, and it's read only, so we'll have to read and write so that we can upload a code. So that's it, that's the basic. And authentication settings, you can enable this 3-legged OAuth, that is to authorize the application so that someone else cannot access the bot that you have created. So keys and tokens, and the next thing we have is access token and secret, so we'll need this. So the next is access token, and the next one is access token secret. So we are done for some basic part of the authorization. Just save this on your desktop itself for some time, as we'll be needing this very soon in our Python script. So I'll name this as auth.txt. Okay, sounds good to me. So the next thing we have to do is just open our VS Code and script all of the part. So we are done with the basic part of creating a Twitter developers account. So now let's begin on with the development of our bot with writing down the Python script, and later on we'll be having a separate video to deploy the bot on a server. So let's begin. So the next step is coding, and you'll have to ensure that you have the correct version of Python installed. That is, there is a library named Tweepy which helps us to access the Twitter API that is on our dashboard. So on the developer portal, we have this bot, and this bot can be accessed with the Twitter API. That is, the Twitter developers account provides us with an API which can be accessed with the library which is named as Tweepy, TWEEPY. Okay, so Tweepy Python versions. So it says that Python 3.6 to 3.9 are supported. Other than this, that is, if you have any other version of Python, you will have to uninstall that version and reinstall these versions, that is 3.6 to 3.9, which are supported for the library Tweepy. Okay, so it's that easy, very basic process. If you are even a non-technical person, if you do not know coding at all, you can even develop this bot with all these basic steps. If you do not understand, please you can comment down in the comment section. And now let's move on to VS Code and create a new project. So I'll create a new file over here. Just remove all these. So I've created a new file, named as python tweepy yt.py. As I really like to name the file name as per the work that it is supposed to be performing. So that's the reason I named such a long one, that is python tweepy yt.py. So the very first step we have to do is API authorization. So that can be done with the Tweepy library. So I'll first write down the very basic part, that is auth. So as it displays an error over the Tweepy thing, so you just have to import the library. So now it should not show any errors. So the next thing you have to do is set an access token with the variable that you have created above, that is this auth. So setting an access token with that. So next thing is access token secret. So that's the basic authorization that you have to do to get the API from Twitter. So once done, you have to create an object for the API. That is, I'll comment down what I'm doing. So this is the basic object creation to access with the variable API. So the next thing is validation, or you can say authentication. That is try So basically I'm just verifying the credentials, and in the try and accept block you can see that I have entered a print authentication successful. So no matter what, in try block the authentication successful will be printed, even if the authentication is not actually successful. When I put the keys right in here, then we could be able to determine that the authentication was successful or not. So right now if I run this code, it would show authentication successful. So we'll just open a notepad, not this one. So API key is going to be entered over here in double quotes, and the API secret key will be entered here, and the access token would be here, and finally the secret access token would be here. So this is the actual way we have to proceed. Before I had entered those values so that you could determine which values you have to put where, and accordingly you can proceed. So let's now authenticate. So it shows authentication successful. It's like authentication was successful because it would always show authentication successful until and unless it has an exception that was an error during authentication, which is not right, but it's okay because I have further work to be done, and once that work is done, that is creating an API update status, and much more such things are remaining. So once it's done, you can just put on an if statement here, so that only if the authentication is successful, then it would show authentication was successful. Right now it's like a formality. Okay, so let's proceed further. And the next is to just make a function. So the next step is to enter the API as an URL. So once I have entered the URL, I'll be taking the response in JSON format. I'll be taking the response first with the request, and then we'll be passing it with the JSON format. So the next thing is to take the response with a request. So to pass the response, or you can say to load the response in JSON format, we do it in text format, as we have to upload a text on the tweet. So as you can see, the response is visible on our console. So the next thing we have to do is API.update status, and we'll call the res, and inside that as a parameter I'll pass content only. So that's it. This is how you can schedule your API, schedule your code. And the next thing you can do is time.sleep for 3 seconds. Just double click and import time. That's it. So I'll run the script now. So it's that simple. And if we go on my Twitter handle and look for a tweet, so it has a tweet which is 14 seconds ago, and it's uploaded by code and code, that is our bot. Code and code, that's right. So that was a very basic part of the code, and next thing you can do is automation. And that automation can be done once you deploy the bot on a server. Other than that, it's not possible. Now, to be very honest, if someone has a doubt that Mayur, if I run the script from here and just then close this, so is that going to upload a code on my feed? So it's not going to be that way. It has to be live on a server, and even if you have a scheduled time or anything, it is not going to upload. And either which ways, you need to deploy your bot on a server no matter what. So it's not going to be that way. So to clear your basic doubt, this was the most basic doubt that any one of you can get. It's not like it's a dumb thing, but now if I run it, I'll have to stay here till the time I have this timer. So if I do not want this timer to be, but I want a specific time, so I've written this code for automation. So this is the very basic code which uploads my code on this time. So when I was testing, it was this time. So when I was testing the bot just uploaded a tweet at this time and displayed the output that was done at 256, and it was very much simple, not even a pinch of hardness I feel while working on this. So the basic logic is just this. It's hardly 10 lines of code. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll be further releasing a video where you can add on this code on a picture, that is any JPEG or PNG image, and you can upload that image in a quote as a quote on your feed. So that would be the next video, I suppose. And along with that, if at all you would want me to demonstrate or upload a tutorial for how you can deploy this bot um, on a server, basically AWS server, because I have experience of that. So if you want me to upload a video on that, please do comment, or you can mail me on developer.mayurkokreja@gmail.com. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.